A welcome back to the Marvel and DC Theorist, and if you're new here, welcome, and also welcome to Bring On the Fandom, because this video might just get uploaded to my other main channel. So yeah, I am doing a giveaway at 1K. You will automatically be entered once you leave a like, couple of comments, and subscribe. So let's get right into this video and talk about the post Endgame problem, and pretty much what a lot of people didn't really understand with phase 4. I can understand with one, CGI being one huge thing, because yeah, CGI did have a little bit of a factor, will play a factor in what happened. I feel like, yeah, there were some questionable points. Like I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier, since they didn't really use a lot of CGI, it was okay. Stuff with She-Hulk, like whenever she was transforming, they didn't really show her transforming just because of how much money that was. So that's why whenever she was like transforming, we just got a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that. But I personally, I enjoyed the She-Hulk show. I mean, I really don't understand. It's just really tedious how fans have become, and it's okay to judge your criticism. That's what fandom is about. But it's just the fact that just to miss the bigger picture is interesting. And I also tell people, and I feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot of people don't realize this was something that was happening during phase 1. So it's kind of like things are like repeating themselves again, sort of, kind of, just a little bit different. The only thing different is the fact that they are introducing way more new characters than what they did in phase 1. You know, phase 1 was just kind of slowed, and we already knew that, okay, hey, Avengers, the Avengers initiative was going to be a thing that was coming. You know, it was just stuff that like that was just kind of like already like hinted at. You know, Thanos was coming, that was already like hinted at the end of the first Avengers movie. So it's little things like that that were just like, okay, the groundwork has been laid out. But this phase 4 really has been, not only, the best way to explain this is that, one, obviously, yeah, people could say that it got quote unquote woke, but not even that. I mean, the comics have already been like that. Like, yeah, they already had characters that were just like set how they were, and then as the years came on, like for example, Miss Marvel, she's a brand new character in 2014. So stuff like that. There's still like also another new character, America Chavez, another new character. But pretty much this whole phase was pretty much the whole phase of one, laying the groundwork of Secret Wars in the Kang Dynasty. Now people know that, but I still feel like people didn't see how the big picture, how it was going to play out, because there was a lot of stuff getting pushed out for a lot, for everybody. We had the Eternals, which I personally love. The Eternals movie, I thought that was something amazing that Chloe Zhao did. It was a lot of natural stuff that they shot their movie in, like, going out there to these locations to shoot their scenes. Obviously there was CGI in it for sure, but nonetheless, it was just another group of heroes out there that's been there this entire time. Something that they might do with the Fantastic Four when they introduce them in the phase 5, because now we're going to be transitioning into phase 5, just because phase 4 is now technically officially over. We just had Black Panther Wakanda Forever pretty much kind of close off all the stuff that was going on with phase 4. Like, it officially closed off phase 4. Like, we know that mutants exist out there, and then now technically, if we really want to be technical, something that officially closed off this phase 4 was the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which technically laid it laid down groundwork for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, the interesting thing about this is just the fact that all these shows and these movies laid out groundwork for possibility of more multiple projects. Like, you know, we had Moon Knight this phase 4. I loved Moon Knight. Yes, Moon Knight had its questionable moments, but nonetheless, Moon Knight, in my opinion, was a top tier show. It started to, like, obviously get into the mystical side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I've been waiting. A lot of people, if you read comics, you know, stuff like Man Thing, Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night was something that I expected to be teased at the end of Moon Knight. That would have been interesting for them to do so. I mean, it's still a possibility they might cross paths, just because Moon Knight's first appearance was in Werewolf by Night. So it's still a possibility, but they have been expanding. This is one interesting thing why I love this phase 4. Stuff have not been, you know, some stuff is for the people, some stuff isn't. That's okay. But to see the bigger picture and to see that, hey, we're now finally getting comic stuff brought to life. Yes, things are being a little bit different now. I feel like things are gonna go back with the whole thing with Bob Iger now being you know, the head leader now instead of Bob Chapek. Hopefully things are, well, I feel like things are going to go back to how they were, because when Bob Iger was in power, Kevin Feige had way more power and way more say so, and just way more freedom, shall I say, than Bob Chapek gave him. So yes, I do still personally feel like now things are going to get a little bit more hands-on, just because there was a lot of stuff going on. I feel like we all can agree, but there still was some pretty good stuff. Like we got, like, Werewolf by Night honestly was something that received a lot of good receptions from the fan. Like, I honestly thought it wasn't going to receive a lot of good reception, just because of the things that was going on, like the events with Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder didn't get a lot of good feedback. I personally had my whole thing with that. Shout out to Double Toasted as well. But anyways, though, I mean, I love Double Toasted. That's what it was playing right there. Anyways, though, going back to what I was saying, the one thing I thought was interesting is that it was just a lot of controversial stuff going on around that time. So that's why I'm just like, it was a little bit questionable for me, that I was just like, I don't know how this is going to look. But there were certain things, like also What If. What If was another amazing project that I loved. I think What If did stellar. It got amazing feedback. What If got amazing feedback from fans. The fact that ending, you know, post, you know, spoiler alert, whatever, but the ending of that just set up a lot of stuff. Like the zombie Thanos was just one of the craziest things. Just Ultron, just the Watcher face. You know, these are things that stories that are still, you know, left loose threads. We had, like I said, the events from Eternals, like the end of Eternals with Keith Harington's Black Knight and Blade, and you heard Mahershala Ali's Blade's voice at the end of Eternals. So the groundwork definitely, in my opinion, is being put out. I definitely feel like the groundwork is definitely being laid out. And then it just, another thing that I thought was interesting is the fact that we already got, you know, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that we already got the introduction to the Illuminati. People don't realize how huge and massive that is, to know that there's a whole nother universe out there. Deadpool's coming too. The fact that Deadpool's coming, I cannot wait. Seeing Deadpool in the MCU, and not even just in the MCU, with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and that being a rated R thing. People don't realize they're starting to get more edgy. That's another reason why I love this phase 4, because it was just the groundwork and just the Easter egg and the tease to let people know how edgy things are about to, you know, really about to be. Yes, they're still going to do their like PG-13 TVA, you know, TVMA. That is another massive reason why I myself, you know, why I loved She-Hulk so freaking much. That's another reason why I love She-Hulk. She-Hulk really had these TVMA moments. It felt like, one, She-Hulk was in the comics. with her really embracing her like feminist stuff or whatever, you know. Like I thought that, I love that stuff. That stuff's insanely cool. And like I said, I don't know why a lot of people were just so mad about the quote unquote wokeness and stuff. They were like, man, this and that. I'm like, you realize She-Hulk is like this. If you ever picked up a comic book, let alone a She-Hulk comic, the show is pretty much it. The only thing that I can understand people not really liking was it's supposed to be a legal comedy. There were certain moments, certain episodes that just didn't feel funny. Some stuff did. I really love the first episode. The first episode started off strong. First episode was amazingly strong. Like I feel like if they, which another thing was interesting that the director revealed, I believe the director was Kat. Anyways, though, the director did reveal that her getting her like blood transfusion and her getting the car accident, they weren't going to reveal that until like later on, like the back half of the show. That would have been honestly horrible in my opinion personally. So that means that would have changed up a lot. That would have changed up the whole thing with Hulk going off to space to obviously, you know, meet his son Scar, because that's another loose thread that was, you know, sets up more groundwork for this phase 5 and 6 and technically phase 7 as well, because Kevin Feige has a lot of stuff coming. But yes, Secret Wars is definitely coming, and I think a lot of people should be interested and be really, really like, oh crap, that this is insanely huge. And I think people don't realize how big this is until it actually comes. Like if you're a comic book reader, you know that Secret Wars, whether they go from the Jonathan Hickmans or, you know, the OG, you know, Stan Lee and Jack, whichever one they go with, which I personally feel like we'll go on Google and pull up the, you know, the comics from Secret Wars, whichever one they go with, whether they go with this OG one or they go with the Jonathan Hickman from 2015, the more recent one, I feel like they're definitely going with a little bit both because of the incursions. The incursions was something that was interesting. Okay. The incursions, the fact that that was name dropped, let alone in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that just, in my opinion, is mind blowing. So the fact that we know incursions was a thing, y'all, come on now, come on, we know something massive is coming. If you know about the comics, you know about it. So anyways, be on, just y'all just be on the lookout, just wait. There's a lot of stuff that set off, and not even set out, but set up the groundwork for all this stuff to be, you know, paving the way for us for when we get this in a couple of years. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next video and live stream. Peace out.